we're doing invocation prayer at the county.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about that.
Sure.
Is that going well? Have you had some challenges?
I think it's going tremendously well. We've had a little bit of pushback, but we have the Supreme Court decision, and that's the deal. If the Supreme Court would have went 5-4 the other direction, we would have had to obey the law, but we get to exercise that. Invocation prayer has been around forever. We've had some challenges, and really come down and check it out. I have people, men and women from the community. Most of them are in pastoral positions, and they have compassion for the great people, compassion for the community, and they come down and give us an invocation prayer. And believe me, we need it. We need the wisdom of God. We need all those assets that help you navigate the difficulties.
Yeah.
So they come and they spend a minute. They'll come from all over the county to come into the meeting, sit, listen to the pledge, get up, do an invocation prayer for 1 minute, and I shake their hand and dismiss them, because most of them have things to do and they don't need to sit around and listen to us go through our agenda. But I'm really appreciative, have had a lot of good response from them and from the community. You don't see it in the newspaper. The newspaper likes to, sell newspapers.
What did they say?
We have pushed back a few articles in the newspaper, which is great. But I have had so many other phone calls, letters, emails, personal contact with people said, thank you so much. We appreciate what you're doing. And so, and we as commissioners are in agreement on it. This is something we want to do. This is our heritage.
Yeah.
And our right to tap into to the favor of God. And the favor of God is tremendously important.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a whole nother subject, right?
Yeah.
The favor of God. There's prayer, there's the favor of God, which can change anything. And take it from that Joseph's experience, the prison to the palace in one day.
Yeah.
Favor of God will move things like that. We need that in our nation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we need that in our county. So
we might as well start here. I'm nobody's back in Washington D.C. at this time that's for us to move forward and to take on the challenge there. You really need to start at home, neighborhood, city, county. So we're at the county level and
what's your relationship with God?
Well, and promoting the things that people need. I get to go visit the juvenile detention just about any time I want, which is tremendous because we get young kids in there. And a number of them have never had people speak encouragement to them and go, you're carrying something unique. You're the only one that's ever going to be here with your DNA. You have something unique. They've heard things like, you're just like your Uncle Joe, never amount to, and been put down by their peers.
Yeah.
But my challenge to them is build people up.
Yeah.
They respond differently.
Yeah.
Even the chemistry of the body responds to positive words. The Bible says there's life and death in the word, in your words, and it's absolutely true. If I speak negatively to you and I'm very harsh with you, you walk away going, that didn't feel good. I don't feel good, because you're responding to those words. Now, if I say, Veronica, you got amazing talent, you're doing a great job, and you're serving your community in such a great way, and your family.
Thank you.
And your husband and business.
I feel good.
You're going, wow, because you're having a reaction. There's life. Life is being spoken to you, and you're responding to the life.
Yeah.
You're beginning to believe and have hope, and gosh, maybe I'm not just a goofball that accidentally got here on the planet with no place or destiny.
Most people in jail or prison, or people that feel like they're in jail or prison, even if they're not physically there, are made up of people, I think, that have been lied to. And that's not, God didn't create them to be what their lie was. God created them to be who God created them to be, which is unique, which is areas that I'm lacking and you're lacking in, they have it all together. Right. And, it's too bad that a father, a mother, teacher, whatever, peers, spoke death into that person. And, the first thing they need to do is realize that's a lie and maybe try to understand really what God thinks of them.
But without somebody coming alongside of them and mentoring and helping them out, which we all need. I need my mentors. I've had my mentors for decades. I need those mentors. Speaking that truth. But when you're down, when you're just not, when you're not feeling it, you need somebody to come alongside and go, you know what?
That's right.
You are a
Yeah,
gifted
we
person.
are.
You are something unique on the planet,
We're made for
and
fellowship.
you are having impact.
Now, yeah, and speaking of that, then, we have this chart here since 1962. Lyndon
Okay.
Johnson, it was in the 50s, he was a senator, and he pushed for the 501c3. And he pushed for it on Christmas vacation, so it was a completely unfair vote, and it passed, of course. And then that was just the foothold, so the pastors were like, started being silent.
Sure.
And then they were able to get prayer kicked out of school. I mean, in my opinion, this problem rests solely on the spiritual leadership of the day. And it's continued, that problem has continued, where we're just quiet as mouse, and typically, when it comes to issues, calling it separation of church and state, which isn't true.
Sure.
But here we are, in 1962, and everything, just child abuse increases. This isn't my strong Christian belief of having prayer in school, which I believe that, but these are individual lives of people, children who have been abused, of which, we see the results in prison and that type of thing. Rape, murder, rape, I'm a woman, that offends me that has been a consequence of prayer being taken out of school. Diseases, single parent home. I came from a single parent home. That was a different reason, but
And on the other hand, it's not good for society either.
No, it's terrible for society.
There's rippling ramifications to that will take down a society. And you talk about the tax exempt status. Think about it. If the worst thing that we lose as the church is our tax exempt status, but save the nation.
yeah.
Bring it on.
Yes.
Let's go. And I really appreciate pastors, leaders that will make a stand and speak their mind behind the
right.
pulpit.
That's right.
And we have a number of them in this community. They're strong leaders, and which is really a great position to have, is have a community full of strong leaders that don't back off from a challenge.
That's right.
And
Pastors
are
keep
willing
going.
to make. And so, if you guys are listening out there, I really honor that. I appreciate it, and
You can't do it without
you have my highest respect.
Yeah. Amen on that.
Because God's looking for people with spines that'll have a spine and not be afraid to use it.
Yeah. And we need a spine these days. We see what's going on in the rest of the world, and here we are in the United States, looking pretty good except for one thing. We have an open border, and it doesn't look very good. Our future doesn't look very good without prayer, without God.
Well, I wouldn't think it would.
Actually,
in the long run, that
sounds
never
like it's
really pays
gonna-
off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man left to his own devices is that's not a good scenario.
Yeah. So it's impossible to rightly govern a nation without God and the Bible. Actually, let's get the picture of George Washington up. This is a man who won the Revolutionary War through prayer and obviously through other brave men. I'm not sure women, but definitely men. And there he is praying. Of course, that's a depiction of him. That's our first president. That's
Well, I'll
awesome.
tell you, one of the best things that we did is when the kids were younger, we chaperoned a group back to D.C., Virginia, Gettysburg, and it was tremendous to see the sacrifice, to see where we've come in a very short period of time, but it was all backed with Judeo-Christian values on monuments and sculptures and everywhere you looked.
Yeah.
It was just not escapable, and so to say that this is no longer a Christian nation or a Judeo-Christian nation is nonsense to me.
Let's get the next picture up. Let's see the guy who said that. Okay, there we go. So I also have a better picture somewhere, but I couldn't find it off the web. But here he is taking off his shoes, and he's with I think that's a Ramadan prayer. Did I say that right? And they're going to be praying.
Well, Ramadan is the
Ramadan.
celebration, the month-long celebration that the Muslims do.
Yeah, and so he's partaking in that. He has Muslim Brotherhood as advisors in the White House. George Washington never had that. I don't think we have that in our county either.
Well, it's tough to reconcile those two things. one was a branch of Isaac and one was a branch of Ishmael. The Muslim faith is a branch of branches off from Ishmael, and they said there would be enmity between the two from then on.
Yeah.
And there just has been.
Yeah. I just love those prophecies because there's another example of the Bible validating itself. There'll be enmity, from then on. And here we have
And
it.
do I like Muslims? Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Do I like any kind of person? Yeah. That's really our charge.
Yeah.
And I would like to see everybody walking in the truth and loving and not doing what's happening today, torturing and killing and giving, giving them the ultimatum of either convert or die or leave.
Yeah.
That doesn't speak well of a religion.
Yeah. Well, they're following Muhammad is all they're doing, and that's a sad thing. Like we follow Christ, they follow Muhammad, and I have tons of compassion for 50% of the Muslims, which is the women that are in the bondage that they're in.
Well, how about the young kids that they just basically get brainwashed
Yeah.
from the time that they're little? How would you know any different?
Right.
From the time that you're able to read or write, that you get brainwashed with the kind of the hate and the doctrine.
Yeah.
I feel bad about that.
Yeah, very bad. Yeah. So, we're out of time. Unfortunately, there's so much we can go on because it's whatever.
Well, like I said, it's a deep subject.
Yeah, important subject. But
Yeah.
the main thing we need to remember is that wherever we keep prayer, whether it's in school or not, God's going to be there. If we invite God into our school, He's going to be there. If we invite God into our homes, He's going to be there. In our personal lives, He's going to be there. If we invite God into our county, He's going to be there. And so we need to support the county, Commissioner Alan Springer, Commissioner George, and Sterrett now. And if we give them our support, it's going to continue, and we'll have one county under God. Doesn't that sound great? Have a good week. Bye-bye.